Hi everyone. First time I've done this sort of thing, so you just got to bear with me as I go along. Many of you know me from the forums probably. I've got the tag scoots. I've usually got a lot to say, so most of it's rubbish, but sometimes now and again a few little gems. I've been online now this time about a year from the More Niche gathering last year. I found More Niche before that. Up to then I'd had 2 years offline. I hadn't done a thing, and I thought, I've got to get back into this, try and make some money. So I came along to the last event, got inspired, went away. That was it. I was going to rule the world. This is where it all went wrong. I then spent all of last year, from then June right up to Christmas, trying different things, trying, failing, doing all the things you shouldn't have done. I then, at Christmas, found out, right, I've got to have a word with myself, find out what's going wrong. I weren't making any sales whatsoever, well, an odd one or two. So I sat down, went through things, and hopefully found out where I was going wrong. Since then, I think I've turned it around slightly. I've had a good run recently, but that's just been from hard work and perseverance. So I'd just like to run through the 10 top things I found what I did wrong. Hopefully, it's more for noobs, but hopefully some of you might pick some other things up. So, based on my personal experience, the first thing I did wrong was over-analysis. After that, I had to overcome the fear of putting new things up. I had to stop making excuses. Every time I was trying to do something, I was making an excuse why I couldn't do it. Forget about the design. This is going to ring differently than what everyone else has been saying, but it's something I found out. Forget about the ebooks. I think I've read every ebook ever made, one way or another. Trust me, rubbish. Cut the distractions. I'll go over this shortly. We all have these distractions. If you can cut out just a tiny amount of them, you'll make a massive difference. Same thing, online but not actually working. Are you a starter or a finisher? I found out I was a starter. That's all I did was start. That might ring true with some of you. I've spoke to you already, some of you already. A lot of you have done the same sort of thing. There is no one master plan. You probably found that with the super affiliate guys earlier on. They all do things differently, different from you, different from me. There is no one master plan. The internet is full of whatever you want it to be. So, over-analysis. Over-analysis of a target market can prevent you ever getting into that market. For about 4 months afterwards, I just researched. I went home, I looked, I checked everything. I have every research tool ever made. But at the end of the day, I was not getting anywhere. I was just analysing and just running around in circles, getting myself confused, just not getting anywhere. Studying, checking, researching, doing it all again. You'll do it one day, you'll do it the next week, months later, I was still doing the same things. You end up scaring yourself out of the market. You look so deeply into it, you think, there's not a chance on earth that I'm ever going to break into this market. So you end up not doing it. You think, there's no way I can rank for that keyword. These guys are better at site design. These guys are better at driving traffic, at PPC, everything. So you never actually do anything. Do the initial research in a few hours, then get on with the site. I've got it now down so I can just... The guys will launch a new product, I'll get a domain, I'll have a quick look, see who's doing what, see what sites are up there, what content's in, and then just get a site up. That's the biggest thing that I learned. Just get a site up. Overcome the fear. This was quite a big one for me. Before I started again with More Niche, I'd had 2 years off online completely. And before that, all I did was auto stuff, which was made for AdSense sites, that sort of thing, spamming, crap stuff. I eventually got banned from it because I didn't know what I was doing. The second time around, I thought, I'm going to do this properly. But I just had that fear. Am I going to get banned again? Am I going to do it all wrong? So that was the main thing. What if I don't get my sites indexed? We've all had that. We're all worried, put a site up, and you're thinking it's never going to get indexed. Just get a site up. Eventually, Google will find it one way or another. Just drop a few links here, there, wherever. It will get indexed. What if your site bombs? So what? I was so worried the first time I put a site up. What if this doesn't succeed? What if it never gets ranked anywhere whatsoever? And now, I'm not bothered. Just get the site up. If it bombs, doesn't matter. You can build another one. But if you sit and worry about, is it going to succeed, is it not going to succeed, you end up not doing anything. What if I don't get any visitors? That's the biggest one, I think. Sites now I've put up, some of them don't get any visitors. Simply, I haven't drove the traffic to them yet. But I don't worry about it too much. Another site will get visitors. I've put up quite a lot of sites, so it's more of a scattergun approach for me. You will get a site with some visitors, so then you do some more work on it. I don't particularly worry about that now anymore. I just, like I said, go for it. The visitors will come. If you've got the good content, if you're getting links, if you're getting connections, you will get the visitors. What if I don't get any sales? Same again. But if the site's not up and you haven't got any, and the visitors are not coming, you won't get any sales. But how can you find out? You just got to get on with it. What if? This was a question I thought about for a long time. The amount of times I'd said, what if to myself, subconsciously, not particularly out loud, but subconsciously. What if I don't do this right? What if I don't do that right? You won't learn unless you just get on and do it. So then, same again, just banging the sites out. And then you learn by the mistakes. So, it was a bit like me coming and doing this chat I was press ganged into doing. Identify one thing each day or each week or here today, what you are scared, hesitant, unsure about, and do it this week. We've all got something, whether it's, if you're a newbie, it's getting that first site up. If you're a little bit more advanced, it's building a load of links. You might be worried about getting too many links. If it's video marketing, you might not have ever made a video. I think video is going to be huge, personally. So I'm getting into video now. One time, I wouldn't dare do it. I was thinking, oh no, what if all goes wrong? I'll fail. So it's that overcoming that fear, doing something you're scared about. As you get more advanced, stuff like autoresponders, write an ebook to capture the visitor. Things like that. Something you're worried about or you don't know particularly a lot about, just do it. I can guarantee when you've done it, you've pushed yourself forward over that bridge again. Like I said, first time off was getting the sites up for me. I just procrastinated for so long. But then once I'd made that step, got the sites up, that was it. I was away then. Stop making excuses. Ties in with the same previous point. I don't have the time. That is rubbish. I'm not actually a full-time affiliate, although it does say on the notes that I am. I'm still part-time. I work 50, 60 hours a week on a day job, and then I do another 20, 30, sometimes more hours at home. Same as what all the super affiliates did at the start. You've just got to put the hours in. So I know this will succeed. I'm starting to see results. I know I'm going to get there. So you've just got to... Anyone who says they haven't got the time, it's time management. You can do it, even if it's half an hour a day, 1 hour a day. I now have my power hours. So I'll get home, right, what am I going to do in this next hour? Boom, just do it. Knock it out. Like Carl says, just do something. Just knock it out. I don't have the budget for PPC. I've heard a lot of people say that. You don't particularly have to get into PPC to start out. In fact, until you're much more experienced, know what you're doing, I wouldn't even think about PPC. I've only just done it now. Luckily, it paid off. But in the past, a couple of years ago, I had a go, lost a fortune. So that scared me. But it's not an excuse for you not to get crack on and get sites up, get them naturally ranked. I don't know how to build a site. This was another one for me. All I'd ever used was Auto Tools before. I haven't got a clue about HTML, CSS, any of that whatsoever, not a clue. So I looked at Joomla. I struggled with that for about 4 or 5 months, and then I just went on to WordPress. Everything I do now is on WordPress. I can just bang a site out, like I say, a couple of hours. Easiest thing in the world. The other thing as well, if someone's starting out, they don't know how to build a site, just put a blogspot blogger blog up. Dead easy, everything's done for you. It's all there. Just get some content up, and then you can practice. The main thing is just getting on with it and practice. But I don't need to tell you a lot of this. I don't know how to get links. A lot of the guys don't bother getting that many links. They work on content, quality of content. That's how they get their sites ranking for their particular keywords. There's plenty of information out there, but it's the same again, it's not an excuse. You can get your site up. It doesn't matter if it hasn't got linked. It's getting ranked. Google's liking it. Happy days. I don't know. Same again. I don't know. I don't know loads of things. There's loads of things I don't know about. But it's not an excuse. I had to stop doing that. I don't know how to video market. I don't know how to auto-respond. I don't know how to write fantastic content. It's not an excuse. Forget about the design. After Paul's fantastic speech about design, this was the main bug for me last year. I went away from this meeting thinking I'm going to build the best penis review site ever seen in the world. It was just going to be absolutely ultimate. Like I say, I did it in Joomla, which for me was very tricky. If you've never done anything like that before, it's difficult to learn. I spent 4 or 5 months, obviously part-time, after work, etc., weekends, Saturdays, Sundays, bank holidays, the whole job lot. And at the end of that time, the site still wasn't up. It looked fantastic, but there was no content on it. There was no links. There was no ranking for it. So I had a fantastic-looking empty site. And I think a lot of people do that. They get stuck on, they've got to get a site online that is the ultimate-looking site. And that's the worst thing I did. Now I don't care. I just get on with it. It's irrelevant at first. However, getting the site online is the most important thing. If you just got to get it out there, whatever niche you want to go into, if it's a new fibre trim, anything like that, just get a site up. Go away this weekend, buy a domain, if that's your thing, if that's what you want to do, and just get a site up. Forget about what it looks like. Once it's ranked, once you start to getting your first few visitors, then you can work on the design. Same as the guide, a couple of examples on the board before. I think it was the HGH Advanced type human growth hormone one. It's not particularly fantastic design, but it's up there. It's in Google, it's ranked. Andy probably found it in the top 10, and that's all it's there for. You can then, when you're getting visitors, getting click-throughs, you can then work on the design. But till then, I don't worry about it. The only thing that matters is the content. You'll hear this all the time. Everyone will say it. Without content, you haven't got a site. The guys who did well with Capsiplex this week simply did it because they picked up on it a while ago. They got content up on their sites, well crawled by Google for months and months and months. So when it exploded, they were there to take that opportunity. If they hadn't have done anything, then they'd have been the same as everyone else, rushing to do things, pay-per-click, whatever. But they got ahead of the game because they got some content up. You can make sales with ugly sites, which I've done myself, but you need traffic in order to optimize the site. Same again, this could be the opposite way around for what other people have been saying. Paul will probably agree with me slightly on this one. If you've got the ugly site and it's ranking, you've got good content, you've got visitors coming, you can then use your Google Analytics, your click-through rates, etc., to then optimize it. But initially, like I said, it doesn't matter. Just get it up there. This is me. This was me last year completely. I just spent day after day, hour after hour, week after week. It just went on and on and on. The site never got done. So I wasted 4-5 months, most of last year, messing about with the site, which now I've canned it. I don't even bother with it now. So I've moved on to other things. But it was a learning curve to a certain point. But for anyone else who's contemplating doing anything like that, don't bother. Just get it up. Get on with it. Have a look at Wayback Machine. I like this one. This is, I think it's, if you Google Wayback Machine or archive.org, I think it is, you can look, you put any site in and it'll go back to see what was in Google's cache. So you can go back however long the site's been on. And you'd be amazed that some of the sites now, what are the trickiest looking, cracking looking sites. You go back, they look terrible. But they were up there ranked, they're getting that age domain, they're in Google. That's the secret. All my sites are since January this year, the proper ones I've been building now. But I should have had them in June last year, so they'd have been 12-month-old sites. Then you can do what you want with them. But like I say, ugly sites, can you make your sales? Forget about the ebooks. Yep, I've done all this. 99.9% are complete rubbish, and that's a fact. I've just read so many of them. We've all been on Warrior Forums, Digital Point, wherever, all those type of forums, people pushing the latest ebook, make £6,452 in a day, doing nothing. And all they're there for is just to make money for the seller online, nothing else. It's very, very rare you'll find anything. If you ask the guys at More Niche on the forum, you'll get more information, more advice doing it that way than buying any ebook. But like I say, you guys probably not into that. By the time any method is released, it's usually burnt out. It's the usual thing, how I made, same again, £2,000 in a day with a blog, with no traffic, etc., etc. If they have done it, they may have done it once, but it'll never work again because you've got 100, 200, 500, 1,000 people jumping on the same thing. It ain't going to work again. So just don't bother about them. Very rarely will someone sell the golden goose. It's just so obvious. If you are going to make 10 grand in a day, why sell it for $17, $19, $27, whatever? There's no magic bullet. Like the guys this morning said, there's no magic bullet at all, only hard work. You've just got to put the hours in, that's all. I've just put the hours in myself this year, and it's slowly paying off. I'll carry on this year. Eventually next year, I want to be in that top 10 with these other guys. But you're only going to do that with hard work. That's the only way you're going to get there. Cut the distractions. I did a post on the forum a while ago about this because it was one thing I'd carried on doing, and I still do to a certain extent, but it was, I was spending so much time online doing things I shouldn't have been doing that every time I was online, I was getting distracted. So you can network. Obviously, we all need to network. You can have your Skype and whatever, but you just got to be so careful. You've got to be selective. I do quite a lot of posts on the forum simply because I'm passionate. Someone will say something, I'm like, oh no, and I've just got to bang it out, which I'm trying to stop. But the problem, the downside of that is I get a load of PMs and asking me questions. So you end up looking at other people's sites, even though my sites need even more work. It's distractions. I've got a network of people, but you don't need that network. We all need to be loved. There's probably something about why I post so much on the forum. But we also need to make money. That has got to be the key reason we all do this. We all need to make money. And I was distracted by going off doing other things without focusing on what I needed to do to make the money. Turn off the messengers, Facebook, Twitter, we've all got them running. Someone will email us, someone will Skype us, you get an MSN, you cut what you're doing, some very valuable work, all of a sudden so-and-so wants to know if I'm going out for tea tonight, or whatever. Just forget about it. Just turn all those off, do what I call the power hours, just go online, turn all that lot off, bang. You can get more done in 1 hour than you can do in 8 hours, doing it that way. Online, but not actually working. It's the same thing. This is completely what I was doing. 2% of affiliates make money online. I don't know if that's I read that somewhere. You guys at More Niche will probably know something from affiliates, churn, etc. 98% give up, simply because they've got to put the work in. Make a definite plan. This is more each day. I had an epiphany moment. I keep banging on. Some people I spoke to already have heard this one, but I went online one Sunday. I got up. I was all revved up to go. 7 o'clock on the computer. Right, that's it. I'm going to get a load of work done. So I'm busy, thinking I'm busy all day, doing this, doing that. Had a break for lunch, had a break for tea, whatever. Come downstairs, wife playing out with me because I'd been online all day again. So she said, right, well, what actually have you got done? Well, nothing actually. And it was that. because I was Skyping people, MSN, forum posts, I go on 3 or 4 forums, webmaster forums, etc. And you just end up not actually doing any work. So then after that now, I go on more niche forum, that's it, simply because announcing the new sites, I jump on board, as soon as a new product's coming along, jump on board, get the best domain you can, and that's the only reason. I still have to make an odd post now and again, but I'm trying to cut it down. If you do lots of nothing, you will fail to get to the next level. Same again, these guys this morning, the top guys all said the same thing. You can go and do online, do lots of nothing. Exactly what my previous point was. You can be there, you think you're working, you're doing this, you're doing that, but you're not actually doing anything. If you do lots of little things each day, you will succeed. Same again, back to my power hours. Just sit down, turn everything off, do an hour solid, and at the end of that hour, you've got to stand up, have a drink of water, whatever, but you'll feel so much better because you've got so much more work done than what you would have done by MSN, messengers, etc., etc. Are you a starter or a finisher? I'm a starter. Do you start lots of projects but never finish them? I've started dozens, hundreds of... I did start dozens and dozens of projects until I realised where my weak point was. Was I starting things, never actually finishing them? Yeah, I still do it to a certain point, but the main thing is I'm starting sites, getting them online, getting them ranked, and then I can go back to them and then finish them. You've got to identify, and then if you need to outsource that part of it, outsource it. If you don't know how to start sites, get someone to put a site up for you. If you know how to finish it off, do all the finishing touches. Maybe you've got someone who'll give you a hand. If you're in a partnership, what you might find completely boring, your partner might be interested in. Do you ever fully finish a project? No. Last year, I look back from the gathering to the Christmas, I did not finish one single project. I did not get one site finished whatsoever, which is all right to a certain extent. If you're getting it online, you're starting it, getting it ranked, getting it searched, get the Google bots round, then go back, finish it off, do the fine touches, do the optimization, design work, that sort of thing. But all I was doing was starting a project, and that was it. Right, on to the next one. Right, on to the next one. And never actually going back and redoing them. So that was a big moment for me as well. Recognise your strengths and weaknesses. That ties in with the same sort of thing. If you can't... I do blogs, but I can't stand putting the posts up, messing about with them. So I've got someone now outsourced because I don't like doing it. And my time is more valuable doing things I do like doing. So I've got someone, I give them some content, which I've written, whatever, sorted out, and they just post it up, delay it, so there's a post each day, 2 posts a week, whatever. But that's something I don't like doing, so I've outsourced that. You don't have to outsource, but if there's something that's holding you back because you're never actually finishing a site completely, the starting point never happens, then do something about it. Plan to finish 100% one project and feel the satisfaction from breaking your old habits. It's just a personal thing. It might ring true with some of you, but the moment I did this, that was like, right, I've made it now. I still weren't earning any money, but I'd actually made it because I'd got a site up, it was finished, it was optimised, I was getting the traffic, a couple of sales, but then the sense of satisfaction, you are actually doing something, you're creating something. No one would give you a master plan, and I don't particularly think there is a particular master plan. If you speak to the other guys, they all do it differently. Make your own plan based on trying, possibly failing, learning from the mistakes, then trying again. This ties in with me starting a site and then finishing it. It might not make any sales, doesn't matter. If you've tried it, you've learnt something, you've learnt that template looks horrible, you've learnt that you can't get any ranking with that type of content, whatever, but you've tried something. If it bombs, so what? Do another one, try again. Fall off the horse, bit of a cliche, get straight back on it. I've had I've had so many disappointments, it's untrue, thinking things are going to work out, they're not. But you've just got to keep banging it out. Experiment and see what works for you. It could be, like I say, a review site, niche sites, whatever. I found, for me personally, what works, what I enjoy doing. So that's what I concentrate on. It's different to all the other guys. I'm not saying it's right. It's probably wrong because I'm not getting the big sales yet. Hopefully one day they'll come. But it suits me. It suits my methods. Internet is full of This ties in again with the e-books, that sort of thing. There is a lot of gurus out there. There is some good ones, but at the end of the day, you've got to be worried. All they're doing is trying to sell their coaching, sell their latest course, sell their latest e-books. Everything you need to know is within more niche. You can find out everything you need to know already. I found if, like I was doing, spending all day in forums, doing my little blogs, tweets, whatever, usually they're not making money. And it's so true. The guys who look popular, they look like they're making a lot of money on the forums, they're posting all the time. They're just trying to sell things to those people. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. But usually they're not making the money. So the ones who are shouting about it are not usually making the money. Someone says they're making money, they're usually very quiet about it. Some of the guys on the top 10 affiliates, you never hear from them or whatever. Because they're making money. They've got a method, they know what's what. They just get on with it. Finally. Set some goals and stick to them. At the start of the year, once I'd sussed all this out, I sat down and I wrote a master plan. I think there was one, Troiso, a post by Troiso at the start of the year, what he was planning on doing. I think he had planned 6 sites, and then he was going to do this, bookmark that, etc., etc. I took inspiration from that, wrote my own little plan out, got on with it, and I've stuck to it through thick and thin. Think like a business. My offline work is as a business, so I've got a little bit of a business head. You've got to apply that to your online activities as well. Last year, when I was not doing a thing, it wasn't a business. I was online, but like I say, I was networking, I was messing around, I was going on YouTube to look at something, whatever. But I wasn't actually thinking like a business person. Now I do. Now I buy a domain, that's an investment. I buy a template, that's an investment. I buy some content, whatever. Whatever I'm doing, I'm thinking like a business. Is this going to be a business investment? As soon as you do that, you change your whole way of thinking. Be disciplined with your time. Like I said, I don't have a lot of time, but what I am is mega, mega disciplined. Back to my power hours again. I'll go in there, shut myself away, boom, and just knock it out. Whatever it is, whatever you want to do, just knock it out. Back to my point earlier, do the one thing this week that you've been putting off, and then just do it. Think of that one thing, whether it's video marketing, whether it's article marketing, whatever, something you've been putting off. It's not particularly for you guys, more than noobs. Something you just don't do, you dare do, just do it. Honestly, you'll feel the difference. Let's make some money. That's it. Any questions? No? Is that good or bad?